life and little sports. We know we're gonna play some games. And if nothing else, you know we're gonna have a laugh. We're gonna have a laugh, oh yeah. 'Cause this is the podcast.
You know when you go back to the gymnasium? And not really the gymnasium, the gym. I just decided to lengthen it out.
Gymnasium.
Like a specific gym?
No, when you go back to the gym when you haven't been in a while, like hypothetically, if you were preparing for a trip south with your friends.
When you said a gymnasium, I thought I pictured like a school gymnasium.
I was just saying the gym. I thought you would get the reference.
No, I
okay?
didn't.
I did the legs for the first time.
Oh, nice. How you feeling?
I can't walk.
Yeah.
And I did it. It's always the second day after.
Yep.
You notice that?
Yeah. And it usually lasts to day 9 for me.
I was watching the CNN, and they had that infomercial for the Acorn stair lift.
Falls are the number one cause of injury to senior citizens. Falling down stairs can be disastrous. Acorn Stair Lifts has a solution. Just don't fall. Sit, relax, ride with an Acorn Stair Lift.
Now I don't have to worry about him climbing those stairs again.
What's that?
You know the little chair they
It goes up the
attach
stairs,
that
yeah.
goes up the stairs?
You're thinking about it, eh?
I said to Brooksy, I got to get me one of those suckers. I think that'd be fun.
You don't need to work your legs. This is an upper body business you're in.
No, you
Can't skip leg day.
Can't skip leg day.
Can't skip leg day.
I'm just saying.
Golf, you have to have that lower body power.
Oh, so you're talking about golf.
You know?
Okay, yes.
What it's
That
all
turns
about.
86s into 84s.
That's right. It turns a meaningless 85 into an awesome 83 with a mulligan. How are you, boys?
Pretty good.
Welcome
Pretty
to
good.
episode 99.784.
Now we're closing in on the big 100.
Everybody good? Everybody fine? Everybody good? Big news off the top. Not really. I was looking through the Twitter preparing for the podcast today in the extensive preparation that I do.
Yes.
In the 10 minutes before the podcast begins. And I realized, Puffy, this wasn't a new tweet. It was just, you know how the Twitter works, where somebody likes a tweet from way back, and suddenly it appears back in your thing again.
Yeah, that's because they're creeping you.
No, but why would it appear in your timeline again? Like somebody likes a 2-year-old tweet that mentioned you, and suddenly it's back in your timeline. That's what happens on the Twitter.
Yeah.
Anyway, did I send this to you?
No.
This was I think from a German lady.
Oh, okay.
Domina Lady Despina
Okay.
tweeted to us, and she tweeted something about rubber boots fetish, and had posted a video of her in rubber boots.
Oh, hot.
Yeah.
And when I looked at her thing, she's a dominatrix. I'll say what it says in her bio. It says professional German dominatrix, strict #disciplinarian, #sadistic beauty, enforcer of #chastity, and 24/7 devil, I guess that is the devil sign, #mistress, #latex, #leather, high heel, addicted.
I
Germany
can
is her locator. And what I think happened here as I'm looking at this is that she posted a tweet of her in the rubber boots.
Yes.
And she just hashtagged everything. Says, time to clean my #rubber boots, #lick it, #rubber, #rubber boots fetish, #shoe fetish, #mistress, again, #slave training, #souls, and then
Dark.
at fetish lovers, at a bunch of other things, at Rubber Boots Pod.
Oh. She knows her audience.
So,
She did.
do you think she just,
I think she's a fan.
she thinks she maybe hasn't listened to the Rubber Boots Pod and thinks the Rubber Boots Pod is about a rubber boots fetish?
Well, let me throw this out there. Do you think Scott Reynolds
That's what I
perhaps
believe.
put her
Yes.
onto the podcast?
That's what I want to know.
That he might be a customer.
Scott Reynolds, one of
Loyal?
our correspondents in Germany.
Yes.
A customer, is that the word?
I don't know. Customer.
A client.
Client.
He has one of
That's
those
the word.
cards you stamp.
Yes.
6-1 free.
I'm going to have to check in with
It's good
him
that
on
she's a pro, because some of the amateurs going to be a little bit rough with the
Yes.
cheese grater.
I'm sure. I would assume that the Germans are the best at it.
At being dominatrix?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the.
Would that,
That's like
does that appeal to you?
no. I don't like pain.
No, it doesn't appeal to me. However, I have to say, in my musical life, I met a dominatrix. She was she used to come to this jam that I did a long time ago in Toronto, and lovely girl.
Yeah.
Did she come? Were there signs that she was a dominatrix?
Not at all.
In the
You
crowd?
would never know.
How did you find out?
She told you?
She told us eventually.
You're just having a conversation?
Eventually, yeah.
What do you mean eventually? So she came to multiple shows?
Yeah,
she a groupie?
She was a regular for the jam. She used to. She and a girlfriend of her girlfriend used to come out all the time, and they used to hang out, have some drinks, and whatever. And eventually, you get to know people. You know.
How does that happen in the conversation? Say, so what do you do?
Yeah,
I dominate.
Probably it's exactly what it is. That's right.
I dominate the
The two people that didn't answer that question could be like Ovechkin or Crosby. I dominate McDavid or a dominatrix.
A dominatrix.
What do you do for a living?
But she was a lovely girl.
I'm sure they are. And I don't judge. I think
No, I don't judge either.
it's intriguing to me. I just, I'm.
It's a fascinating
the
world.
pain doesn't do anything for me.
I had a buddy, one of my best buddies actually, but I won't name his name here because in case he listens, it would be embarrassing for him.
Puffy?
No.
We were about 25, 26 years old, so not young.
No. Old enough to know better.
Old enough to know stuff. And he said one night when we were sitting around, he goes, I don't get this sodomy thing. And I go, oh, you don't?
What?
He goes, like, what is it? Like, so, like, the girl, like, saws off her arm while you're having sex?
As painful.
And we stopped for a second. My other buddy, Mark Ward, actually was in the room. It wasn't Mark Ward.
You know what? I thought it was Mark
It was not Mark Ward. And we're like, we're waiting for the laugh, right?
Yeah.
And he's just looking at us. And I go, you think that sodomy involves sexual relations where someone saws off a body part? And he's like, yeah, well, what is it? I won't.
He was relieved, I'm sure.
Well, that's much better.
I'm going to try that.
What have I been missing all these years?
Wow. I don't think so.
Let's get to the week that was.
Let's discuss the week that was with James Duffy and the Rubber Boots Podcast crew. And the Rubber Boots Podcast crew.
Week that was is brought to you by our friends at idrinkcoffee.com, the place to go for your coffee and your coffee gear. I was texting with Slavic within the last hour, very excited Slavic.
About the TFC?
As TFC is going
Is he
to
heading, is he going to...
He is not. He
Head
told me
south?
that he had a friend in Atlanta, but he had a prior commitment with work, so he can't go. So isn't it something that Slavic's not going to Atlanta, but Jimmy is?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
By the time you listen to this, that game will be over. We will either know if TFC's season is done or if they're advancing to the MLS Cup.
Hopefully to play Los Angeles.
I watched over the last 4 days about 30 hours of soccer because such is my prep and my dedication to prep. I watched 10 Atlanta United games.
Wow.
I know everything.
That's
you want.
more than I've ever seen in my life.
I know more about Atlanta United than you would ever want to know. But I'm very excited. I only get to do the soccer beat when it gets deep in the playoffs.
Big time Jimmy comes in.
And got to cover their run to the MLS Cup Championship a few years ago. Mm-hmm. And do you remember when I went to my first road game with the TFC was in Columbus, and that was the night of the windstorm?
Yes.
And Jimmy didn't have enough product in his hair. And remember, you guys made fun of me relentlessly. Do you remember that?
I
last
don't
year?
remember that, but I'm sure it was very funny.
Yeah, it was really.
You take a lot of pride in your hair, I noticed.
Not really.
Good hair.
I don't actually.
Probably your best feature.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah. If you didn't have your hair, you get to go downhill quick.
I know. That's why I gotta if it starts going, I'll put a tube of Rogaine on every single night, whatever
you
it takes.
can.
No, you're in good shape. You'll
It's
be
amazing
fine.
they haven't cured the male baldness after all these years. They've cured everything.
We've talked
right?
about it on
Not
this
everything,
pod. So
Jimmy.
the great shame of getting older as a man is the gray and the baldness.
Yeah.
That's not fair. And it happens to women now, too.
I don't think it takes away from a man.
Great shame. Please.
It's embarrassing. I don't know why those people even keep going.
You're gonna have to watch your head down at the Waimara, kid.
Oh, yeah, don't worry.
Yeah, the heads go. It's 15 minutes in that Waimara sun.
Bringing an umbrella.
And also make sure if anyone passes out in like a lawn chair, we wake them up.
Well, that most likely to
You
get
mean yourself, Puffy.
Delilah.
most likely to get badly burned.
Yes.
Right here next to me
yeah.
in the pool.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
That's usually what I like to do.
I
get
do
my
not
burn
tan
in.
well either.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
my goodness.
you just be careful.
Get my
I-
burn in,
I
and
tan
then you tan
unbelievably
after that.
well.
You
I tan very well.
do you get do you get darker?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't get lighter.
And would you? And you'd never.
It's amazing.
That was a stupid question, wasn't it?
That's what it was.
But do you ever get? You can't get burnt, right?
Oh, I definitely can get
You
burned.
can get burnt?
Definitely get burned. And I have to say, I'm embarrassed to say, I had sunstroke once.
Really?
Yeah.
I've had it.
Well, sunstroke would make sense.
had
Anybody
it
gets
once.
Anybody
sunstroke.
gets sunstroke, but I
Got it?
mean, you think the pigmentation is going to protect you. And
You would.
and I still use sunscreen.
One of the funniest things ever on SportsCenter when David Amber used to work with us, and I guess he went south on his trip,
Yeah.
and came back, and the makeup artist could not match his skin tone.
Yes.
No.
I remember this.
And it was essentially, without being disrespectful, essentially like David Amber, who's a light-skinned black man, it was basically like he was in blackface.
Blackface.
That's what it essentially looked like on air.
No, I know.
And I felt,
I remember. I was like,
It was so bad.
I remember because my first look at this guy. Like, what's going on with this guy?
I know.
That's offensive. That's no.
Like
Mom,
David's
he's black.
and David's a good-looking guy, and he's oh jeez. And he
was back in the old
texted me the
building.
next day. He goes, "What the hell happened? I didn't know. Nobody said anything." And that was in the pre-HD
And
days.
it's always a
been
sensitive subject, right? Like if he was a white guy,
Oh, it would have been awful.
it would have been awful.
Well, nobody would have put black makeup on a white
somebody
guy.
would have
but-
said something, right?
But I think our makeup artists do a wonderful job at TSN.
Yeah,
but occasionally, I guess you get the odd freelancer that maybe wasn't really in tune, and this particular person just.
It was.
I don't know. She just got it completely wrong.
Yeah. That was a bad day at the office.
It was just. Anyway, we love our boy Dave. He's recovered pretty well. Hosting
Yes.
Hockey
Yeah, he's
Night.
done
Quite
quite
well.
well. He's doing a good job.
All right, so we'll see if we can get Lester sunburn. That'll be one of our goals.
be one of the
At
goals.
EY
No sunstroke, though. 'Cause that
You know
really
my
wipes you
sunburn
out.
story. I almost I'm very careful. No one will put on more sunscreen than Jimmy.
Really?
Yeah, I told you the Acapulco story.
I don't remember.
Okay, so when I'm 21 maybe, I go to Acapulco with actually the same buddy in the sodomy story. And
Had he figured it out by this point?
we went, and I got really, really sort of, I think it was a 2-week trip. So burned, changes to tan, looking good,
Yeah.
suddenly peel. And now I'm down to like 2 days left, and I've completely peeled on my shoulders. But it was like a crazy booze trip. So we're at one of these crazy like spring break-ish hotels, and I'm talking to some people in the pool. I think in particular a young lady,
Yeah,
and talked to her like 4 hours in the pool.
Oh.
And so you just have a drink in your hand, and there's no sunscreen on, and you're just dipping in and out of the water.
So you're feeling nice.
You're feeling nice, and you're just the wet skin is
Yeah.
there's nothing worse to burn.
Yeah.
So and it's blank peeled skin that is on top of.
God.
So that night we're going out, and I'm feeling a little hot in my shoulders, but I'm fine. Come home, go to bed. About 4:00 in the morning, I wake up and go into the bathroom, and I screamed like a kitten getting stepped on. It was like not to gross the listeners out, but my shoulders were pizza. Literally pizza, and when you get it out of the oven.
like cheese when the cheese,
Yeah, cheese
is
just-
bubbling.
just
You're
bubbling.
bubbling. Yeah.
Really?
It was one of the scariest moments of my life. And I woke up my buddy. I'm like, what the hell do I do? And I went to a Mexican doctor the next day, and I was flying home. So he said, well, you can come to the Mexican hospital. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think that's going to work well for me.
Yeah.
I didn't even know insurance. So I went home, went right to the hospital, had 2nd and 3rd degree burns on my shoulders.
Oh my god.
And I still lost some of the pigment on some of my
No,
shoulders. But from that day forward, I am the king of
I'm guessing that you didn't get with that young lady.
No, it didn't go so well.
Imagine if you did, and she started scratching the old nails in the back.
Somebody's getting lucky tonight.
That's the guy.
That's a gentleman?
I do remember from that trip, though, coming home very drunk. And my friend had befriended a young lady. down there. And not like a one night, just for the whole week sort of thing.
Gentleman.
And they were spending some alone time in the room. But I was so tired and so drunk. The right thing to do would have been to go down and like lie on a lounger, right?
Yes, that's
That's kind of the rules, the roomy
that's
rules.
what you would do.
Male or female when you're on vacation. Well, Jimmy was in his selfish mode. I needed to go to bed. So I kind of lay down outside the door, but kept knocking against the door. And so they opened the door eventually.
Yeah.
And I just pretended I was passed out. And the girl's like, oh, look at him. He's so sick. My buddy's like, just don't worry about it. I'm just going to shut the door. She's like, no, you got to get him in his bed. So he carries me to his bed, like to my bed, and I started laughing. I'm like, and he's like, you bastard.
Oh, I'd be so mad.
It was such a joke.
That's a great story.
I hope he never forgave you.
No, I think he did after a while. I don't think the relationship lasted all that long. Anyway, do you have a good week, everybody?
I think so.
Did.
The week's fly by now.
I was going to tell you. We ended up a little bit of an Elton road trip this weekend. So we were in Akwesasne, your old stomping grounds, and then we ended up went over to.
How is Akwesasne doing?
You know what? It's okay. It's okay. You know, we were at the casino there. I mean, there's a few things that have closed down. You can see it's a little.
Is there still? I guess they're not battling over gambling. I probably told the story on the pod. I'm not going to tell the whole story again. It's in my book, but I was attacked by a. Back in my days of a news reporter, assaulted on the Akwesasne Reserve while covering a story, beat up by a bunch of grandmothers with baseball bats, and it was because they were battling over gambling. It was a big deal.
Let's put it this way: we played at a casino, the Mohawk Akwesasne Casino. It was a great show. We did that. So no, everything seems to be fine with that. So we ended up in Brockville on Saturday, played the Brockville show, and as I told you guys before on the pod. The bass player in the band, Matt, his brother-in-law is the trainer for the San Jose Sharks.
Boy wonder.
So Ray, I won't give Ray his last name, but Ray is a great guy. So he invited us over. We went to the Scotiabank Center, saw the practice, said hello to a couple people. Met Jumbo this weekend, which was great.
Oh, Jumbo, cool.
Yeah, Jumbo and Evander Kane, and said hello, and got a chance to talk to the trainers and everything. And we went back at night for the game. It was great. Ottawa won.
You should have gone. You sat in our booth.
You know what? I should have sat in your booth. Actually, that would have been great.
Because we have an amazing. Do you see it? Do you know where?
You can see. I was on the other side.
The set is one of the best sets in hockey.
But it was the other guy's game.
Right. So Saturday night, so we weren't allowed in there.
You're not allowed in there?
Well,
you're allowed. You can go in there, but we couldn't broadcast.
Right? So that would have been sweet if it would have been our game too. But with very nice seats. I mean, so my worlds collided. You know. PSN and hockey and music
awesome.
rather.
Sharkies have some issues. Sens kicked the crap out of them that night, right?
It was weird. I didn't expect that at all.
That's enough. That's too much sports content for one.
Yeah, that's it.
Right? Halloween is this week. Did you see the Brooks Koepka costume?
No.
He Instagrammed or tweeted out what's his lovely girlfriend that we met at the Masters, that supermodel.
Oh, I can't remember.
Remember that Mark Ward went up to and got a photo with? She was dressed as the devil in a devil's costume that you might imagine.
Yeah.
Brooks Koepka went as in a box.
Oh, nice.
The Justin Timberlake song. It's my in a box.
There's some people who are really good at Halloween.
Yeah.
I am not.
Will you go to a party this year?
No, we're going to a hockey tournament that night. So.
Jared has a big Halloween party in Guelph.
What's he going
at his house? He hasn't told me, but Darian is going to the party. I think I mentioned this.
No, you did not.
You did not.
This is fantastic news.
Darian claims Jared invited her. Jared claims he was drunk and doesn't remember inviting her, but Darian and her friend Emma going to Jared's Halloween party.
That is disaster written all over.
What do you think's going to happen?
That Jared's
like the
buddies
friend
are gonna
hookup situation?
Yeah, she's going to like one of his friends for sure.
And what will happen because of that?
They'll start dating, and then Jared's going to have to not be friends with this guy.
Why not? Why wouldn't he be friends with?
You can't be friends, buddy. One of your buddies dating your little sister? Not cool.
No,
I think what's going to happen is Lester,
not at that age.
Stoff and Lester, the muscle of this podcast, is going to have to go down there and talk to them, if you know what I mean.
Maybe we should go. Maybe we should go to the Guelph the Halloween party.
Is it a Saturday night?
Huh?
Is it a Saturday night party?
I think so.
Are you sure it didn't just happen because?
No. And my son was home this weekend, so. Oh no.
Now is Mason Drager going to this party? Can we get him an invite?
You are not going to hook up Mason Drager with my
I think
daughter.
they'd be a great couple.
No,
they'd be like a power couple of Guelph University. I know they'd be freshmen, but
people
they would
really care.
They would be They'd be like the it.
That's
couple.
the Duffy Drager couple family.
It'd be like, that's a good couple.
Would that be a dream wedding for you to go to? Would that be your dream wedding?
100%.
You wouldn't be invited.
I'll tell you what.
Lester would play there.
My wedding's a dream wedding. Ain't gonna happen.
Would you not get married? Will you get married?
You know what?
Is it possible?
I'm not close to the idea, but it's not something that's super important to me at this point in my life.
Good for you, man.
Well,
there's nothing wrong with that. I love being married. I love having kids, but completely respect somebody.
Yeah, I'll never get married again.
That's it. If God forbid something happens, God forbid I say,
right,
you're out. That's it. You're never getting married again.
Never
Or
again.
if things go south at the Waimara.
Staff?
Waimara.
What if
How about
Tommy's
you?
like, Lester, and he's single?
What about you?
Bells
Would you-
go off.
Would I
you-
get married again?
If, God forbid, something happens with you and Anastasia, you
I follow her to the grave.
get followed to the
Attaboy.
grave. Ah,
I'm the
that's
same with Brooksy.
smart
Brooksy's
answer.
my one and only. I'm not
Yeah.
going back.
Why do it again?
Ain't going back. Plus, imagine how much golf I could play if I was divorced.
Jesus.
All those 36s. and no one to doubt that.
That'd be the new 69 for him. 36. So hot.
I told Brooksy I played my last round on Saturday because I wasn't. She had all this stuff for me to do, and I said I got to play my Brooksy. It's my last round of the year. So then I came home and I gave her a big hug and I said, "It's over, Brooksy. The golf season's over." And she said, "Oh, welcome back. I get my husband back." And then I started to look at the forecast on Monday and Tuesday and said,
Brooksy's never going to, like, move down south with you. She knows what's happening. That'll be 12 months a year. You're
"Oh,
done.
why not? I play golf in the morning, and then we spend the rest of the day together and do all sorts of romancing."
You're just thinking about
Beautiful.
golf.
She
give
knows
her
I'm thinking
flowers?
about it a lot.
You pick her flowers off the course?
What?
You pick her flowers off the course?
Yeah,
fresh
bring it
flowers,
home. Like, during lovemaking,
Yeah.
some people think about baseball, not
Yes.
to think. I just think about golf.
Yep, then you
But
finish
then I get
quicker.
more excited. Tiger! Time for the sharing circle.
The sharing circle. It feels so good when we share. Because it shows that we care.
Do you believe in that, stuff out in the universe and, people thinking about you? And because I just got a
Yes.
text.
Like Star
from
Wars?
The sodomy guy just texted me.
Oh, he did.
Just texted me right now. Everything okay, buddy? And I'm just looking on it. The last time he texted me was Tuesday, July 30th.
What happened that day?
Nothing. He just said, "I miss our football tournaments. Love you, buddy." That's all he said.
You know what? That's that. I'll tell you, West Indian culture. When that happens, they say that person that you were thinking about or talking about is going to live long.
That's great for him.
yeah? Yeah.
Not good for you, buddy.
Not good for us at all. I'm going to have to text him back.
That's nice.
Miss that guy. The sharing circle. I think that Stoff had something to share with us today.
Wow.
I was
that's
worried
awesome.
because I thought I was going to have to carry the sharing circle
Yes.
for the
Again.
entire season.
Yeah.
I had one, but I forgot it.
Yes, I do. You got joined by Bob Weeks here for 1 second.
Oh, come on in,
Oh,
Weeksy.
come on, Weeksy.
sorry, stop.
No, come on in.
Sorry,
Come on,
stop.
Weeksy.
Alrighty, so my sharing circle, it was a traumatic experience and it's Halloween themed, so I'll share this with you guys. I actually came over here as a kid from Europe, where we didn't have Halloween, so when I discovered Halloween, it was this incredible thing. You go to people's houses, get free candy,
Right.
all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Right. They don't do it in Europe?
No, at least they didn't before.
not
So
in
it was
Poland.
a completely, not in Poland. It was
Right.
a completely foreign concept.
Okay.
So I was really excited every single Halloween. Unfortunately, my parents, I think I was in grade 5 or grade 6 at the time, my parents noticed that I excelled in math at school.
Okay.
So they signed me up for these like nighttime, like this math thing for kids that excel. And we'd go there once a week. It was a group of kids, 2 instructors. And it just so happened that this thing landed on the same night as Halloween. So I never in a million years would think my parents would make me go to this stupid math class. And yet I had to go there. And when we got there, it was literally the 2 instructors. We got there like 5 minutes late, packing up because there was no one else there. So they're like, "Oh yeah, we showed up just in case, someone would drop off their kids, but we figured there would be no one there." So at this point, I thought my father would take the clue and just take me home with him. Whereas he went, "Nah, all right, I'll see you in 2 hours."
That is cold.
And yeah, I think the class ran through from like 6:30, 8:30. So by the time he picked me up, like everyone's lights were like, we tried going trick-or-treating, but there was...
So you did math on your first Halloween for
It
2
wasn't my
hours.
first one.
but
it
one
was
of
like
your... Oh, so
second,
you'd already
third
gotten
or
a
so.
taste of
Yeah,
how
exactly.
great Halloween was.
It was way worse that way, yeah.
Yes, of course.
I'm so sorry, man.
Yeah, it was...
Thank you for sharing that.
You know what, though? I think...
I feel better that I shared.
Well, you should feel better, you should. But I got to believe that experience is sort of made you the producer you are right now, as you were isolated and you had to work on your craft, that kind of thing.
Right.
Also seems
Go ahead,
That does not help at all.
Go ahead and edit that out, stuff.
it almost feels though that his parents sold him on being really good at math,
Right.
when he just needed a tutor.
Yeah.
I think that, son, this is for the special kids who really do well at math.
Or
I
maybe
needed it so badly I had to skip Halloween. That's actually not a bad point.
maybe that was your parents just getting some alone time,
That's true.
right?
I need to come up with some math classes.
This is getting more traumatizing by the second.
Wow.
That's what happens in the sharing circle. It can turn
The
dark.
sharing circle turns
Nothing
bad.
wrong with that. I remember when my mom first caught me masturbating. I was so surprised. I dropped
What
my
do you mean
parents.
first?
I dropped my parents' wedding photo. That was.
Oh, I got a sharing
Hold
circle.
on, that's a joke. That's a joke stolen from Stu. What was his name?
Johnson?
The guy that used to be on the NHL on TSN.
Oh, Stuart Francis.
Stuart Francis. Full credit to Stuart Francis, who told that joke, and I used to steal it from him all the time.
I remembered my sharing circle thing.
Oh, okay. Puffy.
So this happened to me last week.
Mm-hmm.
I was leaving the house to go get some kids' skate sharpened.
All right.
And an elderly gentleman, I'm like pulling out of my driveway, and an elderly gentleman's kind of like giving me one of these, like kind of, so I like roll down my window, and he said,
By the way, people can't listening to the
just give
podcast
me
don't
a
know what you did.
yeah, okay, little finger point.
Little gesture like, "Hey,
Little
mister.
gesture.
Hey, mister."
Trying to get your attention.
So I kind of like stopped the car, and I rolled down my window, and he's like, "Can you give me a lift to my house?" And I was like, "Okay, well, where do you live?" He's like, "I just live over there. My car broke down." I'm like, "Okay."
How
like-
old?
So he's probably, I'd guess, like late 60s, early 70s. So I did think this guy's going to kill me. But
Or
I mean,
some sort of scam.
yeah, there's something bad going on here.
Did you do it?
How old were you?
This happened last week.
He was 7. He stole his
This
parents'
is like
car.
5 days ago. And then so I'm driving the guy, and he looks at me. He goes, "Are you Irish?"
Yes.
And I like, yeah, kind of. Yeah. He's like, "Oh, I like the Irish. I hate the English." And he's a Greek guy. He says, "I got a joke for you." I said, "Okay, what's the joke?" And he says, "What does an English guy say when he walks in to his wife in bed with 3 other men?" "Hello, hello, hello."
That's pretty good.
I'm like, that's pretty good. And then he went on about how.
And then he killed you?
No, and I dropped him off. and
Robbed
then
you?
He said, "You're a very good man. You're very good."
Oh,
I like the Irish.
You know what? You did a good deed.
Yeah, that's nice.
The whole time I thought this guy was going to kill me.
But isn't that the problem with the way the world is today? Is
Yeah.
that you would hesitate to do a nice deed because you'd think
100%.
something
Exactly.
bad's going to happen, right?
100%. It's real issue.
And you have to do that quick evaluation in your head.
Yeah, I'm like, is this guy going to kill me?
Because
Or
have you
saw
ever
off
see
a
the
part
movie?
of my body?
You ever see the movie The Hitcher? Right? They pick up the hitchhiker and then, boom,
But,
Man.
yeah,
they get.
That's
like
crazy.
that joke, though. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello. That's a very good joke. I think I heard a version of that many years ago because the punchline sounds familiar.
Yeah.
But it's still good. Thanks for sharing, guys.
Thanks for sharing.
I
That's a
had
great
brought
story.
something to the sharing circle, but now I'm going to save it till next week because you guys shared so well.
And we won't have anything next week.
Oh, for sure.
Things that I saw on the Twitter.
Freaky pigs, strange chicks, world affairs, polar bears, fake news, nice shoes, big boobs, jack dudes. All of these things and more as I sat on the shitter. Things that I saw on Twitter.
One of the regularly great things on Twitter, one of the excellent things about social media, and there's not a lot of good things about it, is, I used to love late night TV. I was a Letterman disciple growing up, but I never stay up for that anymore as I've gotten to be an old guy.
Does
But
anyone?
I'm not sure that they do, but
I wonder what the ratings are for
all those shows have been given new life by the ability to post their segments. James
100%.
James Corden's probably the best example. With
Yes.
the,
Actually,
right?
I would say Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel,
is a
James
very
Corden.
good- Yeah.
Corden did one with Kanye West and is on a plane. I
Yeah, the
just watched.
carpool karaoke.
Yeah,
thing.
it was okay. Kanye's gone.
The best one
Really
I saw
sideways, but-
was Conan went to student. One of his employees
Yes,
was learning
they
to
had seen-
drive.
the- yeah, she
and she
learned-
took
that-
and she took Ice Cube and
And Kevin Hart.
Oh,
Kevin
right.
Hart, yeah.
Oh,
my
that was
God, it
amazing.
so
That
That
good.
was very
Yeah.
funny.
That was a great one.
Why don't
So-
you get me a 40
right,
and a 40?
right.
And they were telling her to throw batteries at people
Yeah.
during road rage.
But like
so.
I've never watched Conan on TBS.
Right.
No,
I don't even know how to find it.
No, but all these and why bother? Because there's a lot of crap on those shows and long interviews. But when they're going to post all the best segments the next day, and as you say, Kimmel posts great ones. And,
yes, Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon too, actually.
Absolutely, and Kimmel is
Seth Meyers too. He does good work.
Yeah, Trevor Noah and The Daily Show. The Daily Show does. He does. Seth Meyers is good.
Yeah, Seth Meyers is great.
Anyway. Kimmel kills Trump every day. Like he just destroys him. And this was he put together a little, what do you call him, a mash? What do they call him?
Montage?
No, a mashup.
Mashup.
A mashup. Oh my god.
Of Obama announcing the Bin Laden death and the formality to which the president handled that, to Trump announcing the death of the leader of ISIS on the weekend.
The United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden.
Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi is dead.
The United States launched a targeted operation against that compound.
They did a lot of shooting, and they did a lot of blasting, even not going through the front door. You know, you think you go through the door. If you're a normal person, you say, knock, knock, may I come in?
After a firefight, they killed Osama bin Laden and took custody of his body.
He died like a dog.
But his death does not mark the end of our effort.
A beautiful dog. A talented dog.
We give thanks for the men who carried out this operation.
And I don't get any credit for this, but that's okay. I never do. But here we are.
May God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America.
And I'm writing a book. I think I wrote 12 books. All did very well.
Now, we don't get political on this pod intentionally, and we love all of our listeners. You can be liberal, conservative, it doesn't really matter. But I'm sorry, Trump's funny. And that was really funny.
You listen to that, and you just go, that can't be real.
I know. I watched the entire thing, not live, but somebody posted on the Twitter, and I just watched the entire
It was 48
hour.
minutes?
Yeah, it was unbelievable. Like, he just got, and you kept saying, oh, he's going to say something he's not supposed to say. At least the bit about the books was the best, because he just kind of, he snuck it in there, because he claims that...
But was he taking questions?
No, yeah, but he claims that he said they should kill bin Laden a year before 9/11.
Yeah.
And do you follow Daniel Dale?
Yes.
So Daniel Dale, who used to work for the Toronto Star and now works for CNN, and his entire job is fact-checking Trump.
Yeah.
And so he just, every time Trump says anything, he fact-checks it and goes on and says... So he posted this segment in the book, and he briefly mentions Osama bin Laden in passing.
Why?
Like, there's all these terrorists like Osama bin Laden out there. Like, it was one sentence in the Trump book.
Yeah.
But in the news conference, Trump's like, I declared a year and a half before 9/11 that we had to hunt down and kill bin Laden. Look it up. It's in my book. You'll have to find my book. I've had 12 books now, all of them very successful. He's talking in a news conference about killing the leader of ISIS.
You do very good. You do very good, Trump.
But it was just, it was extremely,
That was so well done, though.
Yeah, there's just, they could do an hour of those things. Take every Obama news conference and Trump. Spectacular stuff. There was a prank that Stoff found on the Twitter, where what happened, Stoff, here, just for the visual, is basically they took two phones and they put them on speaker put the speakers face to face and dialed two different pizza places. Yes. Two different pizza places. Do you understand that, Lester? So
yes,
do
I
you
do.
get the premise? So
yes, I
the
do.
two phones next to each other, they dialed two pizza places.
Yes.
Thanks for calling pizza on 15th Street.
Hi, this is Papa John's on Hackberry. How may I serve you tonight?
You called Pizza Hut on 15th Street. This is Jim. How can I help you?
Sir, this is Papa John's. Would you like to hear our specialties tonight? We've got an $8.99 pepperoni large pizza.
We have a $7.99 if you would like to place an order for that.
Sir, this is Papa John's. You called to place an order?
You called me. This is Pizza Hut.
That's amazing. I'm surprised nobody's thought of that before. Could we do that? We could do something like that.
Maybe call Jeff O'Neill and someone else.
Call Jeff O'Neill and Bob McKenzie at the same.
Wow.
No, we need somebody angry as Jeff. Who's the only somebody as fiery as Jeff? We'll figure it out. We'll do that next week.
Yeah.
On the segment. Should I call
Hilarity will ensue.
call Jeff right now.
Well,
Just gave me the idea. I have no idea.
The O-Dog.
See what he's got.
The old dog. You mentioned.
By the way, I just called him and put my speaker up to the phone, so there's no high technology here. So you guys know.
Chip O'Neill coming across the middle. He cuts in over the line. He gets leveled by Scott Stevens. He is out. Well, when he wakes up, he'll try and give you a call back.
Gold.
Yeah.
Wow.
On the pod, buddy. Just trying to. Yeah, forget it. That was. We did this on the pod, didn't we?
Yeah, no, I never.
Yeah, so that was Joe Bowen.
Yeah.
I was the one who had to. I was there when they recorded this. We were doing a Leafs game, and O-Dog goes up to Joe Bowen, the voice of the Maple Leafs, and says, "Hey, could you record my voicemail for me?"
Oh,
and he makes him do it like 19 times.
Oh yeah, it was like he kept him in the hallway.
And he was so proud. Joe was like, "I have to do the game now, Jeff. Oh, just one more take."
Yeah, it was like
one more
6:45.
Anyway, we'll see what the O-Dog. I have nothing really to talk to the O-Dog about, but just we haven't checked in with him enough. Finally, things that I saw on Twitter, and now I had missed this stuff, but so maybe you should explain. During the World Series game, the most recent one was it Game 5,
I believe.
Yes.
2 women behind home plate were revealing their breasts.
Correct.
And they have been now banned from
every park in Major League Baseball.
Which is incredibly hypocritical. I mean, I guess we're hypocritical as a society in general when it comes to topless, right? Mm-hmm. That men can do it anywhere. Again, that's why I love Europe, because women don't care, right?
And Montreal.
Yeah.
Montreal. But here...
There's topless beaches here.
I know, but you can't go topless on Fox.
which is outstanding in its own right.
So, but they were trying to actually raise money for a cause, is that correct?
They were promoting a magazine called Shag Mag, and I'll let you imagine what that is.
All right.
But
are they Playmates or something?
No, they're like Instagram models.
Yeah.
There is some sort of tie-in with breast cancer, though.
Oh, okay. So as long as
treatment and stuff.
As long as they were doing something
like
good.
Breast Cancer Awareness Week.
Should they be banned from ballparks for doing that?
No.
Absolutely not.
Ridiculous.
I will not be watching another minute of this World Series as protest.
Wow.
It's ridiculous.
I will say this. I get why the league came down on them in the sense that...
Well, you can't. I suppose you can't. The next thing you do, some guy's going to drop his pants.
Well, look. At the end of the day,
maybe.
This is the marquee event of baseball, the baseball season. Oh, hold on.
Jeff O'Neill.
Let's get Jeff's take.
Get another person to interrupt me.
All right, Jeff, your thoughts.
Hey, O-Dog, how are you?
I figured out what you are.
What's that?
A user.
Well, what do you mean by
agree.
that?
I had to dig for that word. We used it in grade school. Just someone that's a user.
But you didn't.
It's like,
I'm using you somehow.
Yeah, you're just like, give me a couple quotes from my book. And I see you at King's Riding all the time. You know how many times I've got an invite there? 0.
It's true.
I just didn't think you'd leave the city. That's all. I'd have you any time at my golf course.
Sean McKenzie, David Amber.
Puffy, were you at my golf course all year?
No.
Let's do it. Let's do it this weekend. 7 degrees on
you've
Saturday.
already said you can't go golfing anymore. You're done. You've told your wife.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for bringing me down. I now have revealed part of myself that I'm gonna have to question everything now.
What about the?
Yeah. If those guys in that room, if those guys in that room weren't on the podcast, you'd have no time for them either.
Hey, Puffy, we were just debating.
I'm on the podcast. He doesn't have time for me.
When you called, shut up, Lester. Talking to Jeff. That whole thing about the women who bared their breasts on the World Series game and they got banned from their thing. Do you have an opinion on that, or are you going to share it on your Overdrive show, or could you share it right now? We were just talking about that when you called.
Well, they're not banned from any. What is somebody, an Instagram pervert, going to sit in the front of every ballpark and say, "Oh, it's you"?
The MLB has talked to me about that rule.
Yeah, and I'm sure you signed up for it.
I was following one of them before this incident.
Thanks.
Serial liker.
I'm a serial liker.
He likes everything, doesn't he?
I do. Yeah.
Nobody likes Nobody likes everything more on Instagram.
On every pic, our boy Puff, our boy Puff, our boy Puff.
I like to make people happy.
I gotta go.
Thanks for joining us. So sorry I use you.
We put you in your place.
Wow.
I like that he said he digged deep for that word.
User.
Do you guys ever feel that I've used you
Not
in
at all, Jimmy.
any way?
Not at all.
I feel you've used me, as a matter of fact, Puffy.
How?
Pepsi commercial?
Pepsi commercial.
I gotta still do my
Waimara.
on the podcast.
Guess that's fair.
Lester's been on multiple songs.
Yes.
I've given him business.
That is true, actually.
Stoff, I've really done nothing except make his life more miserable by having to do another podcast. But
true.
I still love him. I'm bringing him to my what is it called?
Waimara.
The Waimara.
Our sponsor, Waimara.
Waimara.
May I just finish my thought on what I was going to say?
I don't even remember. Where the hell were you talking
I
about?
was just going to say, look, I just think the Major League Baseball's got to send the message. And look, it's not cool. It's not okay to do that. I understand what your cause is and everything. And listen, I like breasts as much as the next guy, unless the next guy's Puffy. But you know, but at the end of the day, I get it, and it's a family event. You know,
I know. But I'm just saying, in general, the double standard, they're just boobs.
But no.
Let's face it.
It's not-
As a society, we have to look at this again. It's just boobs. Are you going to post a topless shot from the Waimara?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so should somebody be offended and ban you from Instagram?
Well, you can't watch baseball anymore, Lester. How about that?
But I'm not on national TV in the marquee event of the Major League Baseball season. That's what I'm saying.
No, I know.
You're underestimating this Waimara trip.
From where we are as a society, you understand it, but I'm just saying, it's just ridiculous.
Okay,
it's just
so
a couple of boobs.
I have a
Very nice
hypothetical.
boobs. Oh, here we go.
Yes.
Oh, we're
can work off
transitioning.
this.
You're
We can
transitioning
yes.
segments.
Yes.
Let's get to the theme.
Yo, 1, 2. These hypotheticals are messing with my mind. These hypotheticals, what's gonna be this time? These hypotheticals are blowing my mind again. These hypotheticals.
So, in the same vein, for these ladies, how much money would you need to be paid for prostate cancer research?
Oh, I'm raising money for.
You're raising money to show your
chest
junk.
Oh,
you go full junk at a sporting event.
All three?
What?
All three members of my team?
Yeah.
On the big screen?
No, just like on national TV.
Oh,
so
like
you're
I'm
behind home plate, you drop your pants.
Okay,
and you
well,
show it.
Again, obviously I would get fired. So,
I think Puffy's saying as a spectator, not as the guy hosting the panel.
Hosting. You're in the crowd.
No, I realize that, but I would still get fired if the people found out it
James
was
Dudley
me.
with his out on TV.
So, are you taking my position out of it?
Yes,
I'm just a guy.
Oh, hold on a second.
I'm an average guy like you, not a special guy.
No, but hold on. No, you're a special person. Damn you. Okay, but for like $15 billion that goes to prostate cancer, you wouldn't give up your job?
$14 billion to prostate cancer, $1 billion to me?
No. It all goes to cancer research.
So you may be curing prostate cancer.
You may be curing prostate cancer.
But I'm out of work.
You're out of work. Well, you can find another job, Jimmy. You can lift. You don't just have to do this one thing.
Wow. I mean, that would be a wonderful cause. That would be my legacy.
Yeah, you should have a
You could
number.
do like a whole speaking tour after.
Yeah.
So
Would you
money
become
won't
a
be
hero,
problem.
do you think, for that?
I think you would. I don't know if you'd be like as big a hero as Terry Fox, but you'd be pretty big.
Where are you equating that act to what Terry Fox
Well, but
did?
I mean, if you raise that $15 billion
Okay, I do it. I'm pulling it out.
So
I'm pulling little Jimmy
for
and the boys
how many
out.
billion?
15. Oh, no, you
Okay, so
set the name.
13 billion, you're not going to do it?
Oh, okay.
And you got to pick the event too.
What would be, if I knew the amount that would cure prostate cancer, I would do it. If that was $5 billion, then that's the amount I would take. But without knowing, I wouldn't do it for like 10 million or 20 million.
So you'd only do it if it cures prostate cancer with your money.
Severely beneficial. But I'm not doing it for the glory.
Yes, you are. You're 100% doing it for the glory.
Not in an ice hockey game.
What number would cure it?
Lester?
For me, let me ask you a couple questions. First of all, is it a cold day?
Do you get any prep time?
October. Yeah, prep time is big.
Prep time.
I think I'd want some prep time. I might go in with a performance enhancer.
Wow, he's really excited about the game.
Yes, you want to make sure you do a good showing.
Yeah.
I would say.
What's more embarrassing if you are
Fully?
you're a little fella?
Yeah.
Or you're fully aroused?
Well,
What's
I think
worse?
I think
I think the latter is more criminal.
Well, I think it's worse if they see you got a little, you know.
I think if you're fully aroused, that happens sometimes.
Well, if it's hot, you know, if it's
Windy
cold,
day.
a brisk wind might.
It's been a while.
What's your number?
You know what? You know what happened?
What were you going to say?
I was gonna say, you never know. There might be some living women with their boobs out.
It's just all going off.
You know that somebody tweeted that you were the moral compass of the program
Yes,
last week?
I know.
Boy,
You better
were
not
they
listen
wrong.
this week.
My number. I mean, I'm not as greedy as you, needing all the glory. But if I could raise like $3 million for cancer research,
You'd
I
put
think
your
I would
penis
do
on
it. Yeah, I
television.
think I would do it.
Do you think you would be fired by Bell Media?
Probably. I think they would have to.
Yeah,
right?
but you got all Tanya's parents in their golf cart.
Exactly.
Or would you be promoted?
Exactly. You never know. Might get in the right hands. Worst case scenario, I mean, I'm not throwing away a ton of money here. I'd be fine.
Stuff?
20 million per inch.
Wow.
Well, wasn't it an Instagram post where we basically
Yes,
saw
that's true.
Stuff seeing
So 500,000 then.
At least I already tried.
What would you do, though? I mean, just the actual act of doing it itself would be worse.
Well, it's the
I
same
mean, the
sort of
actual
like-
shot of the penis, whatever, but just you standing there
No, but
looking like the creepiest.
You'd have to.
I'm pretty sure security would get pretty rough with you. It wouldn't be like with the
absolutely.
ladies where they ask them to leave.
You have to wear track pants, I think, for it.
Well, just to make it easy access?
Make it easy access.
Of course. You don't want to be fumbling around there.
And you'd have to do a lift up and a
It's just
pull down.
it's a ridiculous hypothetical.
Why?
Because, well, first of all, you're guilting us into saying if we don't do it, we're letting people get prostate cancer.
Yeah, you're basically encouraging prostate cancer.
So, of course, we want to raise money and cure
I'm
prostate
happy to all-
cancer, but we don't want to whip our penises out on
Well,
television.
it seems like you all do.
I feel like I've been tricked.
No one said no.
Before we leave you today, some viewer feedback. Maybe we need a song for listener feedback.
Viewer feedback.
I guess it is viewer feedback because you finally posted something that had the TV cameras involved on our Rubber Boots Instagram account.
and it involved two of us.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So did you see it?
I did see it. Yes.
Yeah, you were not
I was
cut
not
in any
no,
shot.
I don't know. I don't understand how that works.
How does that work?
You couldn't go wide once.
How does that work, Stop?
So the cameras are automated. So I
Megan's
believe
not working the
what
cameras anymore. She got promoted, right?
Well, she sets them up. So what I think happened was Puffy and Jimmy were here earlier, and she set it up from them two. And so whenever it went to the wide shot, it was just them two, and then it would go back and forth with close-ups of them two.
So she thought Lester got fired?
Wow.
Yeah.
So, I think it's a great gimmick, though. Are any of the cameras pointing at Lester right now? Yeah, that
Well,
one.
there should be one right there. There's a wide.
The robots are racist.
See what we can take care of that.
Please stand by as James readjusts the camera.
Racist robots.
I just don't know what kind of problems that may cause for
did I just-
overdrive.
Did I just screw
That's
everything
on
up?
TV from 4 to 7.
And Noodles just got taken out.
Hold on a second.
Put that
Yeah,
back.
how are you going to fix that?
Please stand by as James attempts to put the camera back together.
What happened?
Noodles is going to be right in the middle of his face.
Can't they fix those with a little button or something? Or they have them all set up?
I'll call housekeeping.
Sorry about that. I was adjusting the cameras to take them away from Lester for our listeners that had
Good
no
comedy,
idea.
good comedy.
That was more of a visual gag than anything else. So I thought I'd read some listener feedback every week. I told you about this one, Ricky Fried, who I mentioned last week.
And I will do a listener feedback song. Sure.
Interested to hear that Lester McLean is a minister. Makes sense as he continues to be a voice of reason with a strong moral compass. Questionable.
Yeah.
Ricky also responded to my question last week to the ladies about, I didn't want it to just be creepy older men dating younger ladies, so I
Yes.
asked the ladies, how young a man would you date? Ricky said the old half your age plus seven, which is kind of apparently the rule on the social media dating apps. If you get divorced or separated,
Really?
that you kind of half your age plus 7.
I'm 20. I'm still in the 20s.
Not saying that that's what you go for, but that's kind of like the limit or something. I don't know. Or the people you attract.
Or the ideal.
Somebody wrote, Beefy Cheddar 9, have you ever wondered why Subway went from $5 footlongs to $16.95 for a cold cut combo? Thoughts?
No.
Scrolls, P. Scrolls said, listen to a few eps of Rubber Boots Pod, and I'm wondering, is TSN James Duthie the horniest dude alive?
Wow.
I guess all my talk
about Brooksy.
Yeah, the things that went wrong with
And the
Brooksy.
foot.
Bit of an upset there, though.
Since fixed.
Nice.
Everything's fine on the home
You guys
front
are
now.
back?
Boom.
You know what? A little bit of chocolate earlobe fixed that, eh?
Damn straight.
Just make sure there's not too much going on at the Weimara.
And this was from our Instagram account, which I rarely check, but this was from Dylan, who I guess was responding to what Stoff had posted, the segment he posted last week that featured Puffy and I, and No Shots of Lester. Puffy has the face of a lumberjack and the voice of that kid from junior high who was really funny and got terrible grades.
That's pretty alarmingly accurate.
It's true.
That is
Yeah.
true.
Face of a lumberjack, though. You kind of do look like a lumberjack.
You look like a man's
You
man.
put, yeah,
Not a bad thing.
Even with
Small
Jack,
house.
even
I don't
with
think
the
that's a
shirt you're wearing
criticism.
Today, you get
Yeah.
the flannel on. today.
Lumberjack is not a.
Put a
that's
baseball
not
cap.
a shot. That's a
No, no.
compliment.
No, that's a
right?
compliment.
For sure.
Everybody
If
wants.
someone's going to
Ladies-
chop some firewood at the Weimara,
You know what I'm saying?
There's going to be we'll have people. For that.
Ladies like a man that can swing an axe.
There's the old moral compass
over there. Dara Patel is also a faithful listener. Sorry, I kind of mixed up the order here. She said a 5-year difference is all she would go for.
5, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Either
because
way?
any older or younger, and they're just in a different place in life than you are.
Interesting.
Fascinating.
I don't know if I agree with
I'm
that.
5 years older than you are. We're in the exact same place in life.
Exact same place.
Because you're both extremely immature.
Sorry,
why we
moral
would-
compass.
Why we'd be fine at a party in Guelph.
Stay tuned next week for episode 100, right, Stoff, of the Rubber Boots Podcast.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. It's coming.
It's coming.
Weimar, you nursed that cookie through
I
this
did.
entire podcast.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
I was staring at it because I'm trying to, I'm ready. 6 weeks away.
I'm starting a week from now.
Are you really going
Come
to
on.
start?
You've been
100%.
starting for next week.
Are you really
going
gonna
to
do it?
I'm
'Cause you
going away
will.
on a hockey tournament this weekend. I'm going to be drunk a lot.
And then you're going to train?
And I'm going to train. No more. Well,
But
I'll
are
be
you just
drinking.
polluting yourself as much as you can until that point?
Well, no.
What can you drop in a month before Weimara?
20 bills.
Get out.
Really?
So you'd be down to like 207?
I'll be crying in my pillow tonight on that one.
You look fine. Brother. You're always a handsome man. You don't look over. Are you weighing more than you should?
Yes.
Are you at like a life high point by any chance?
I'm probably close to one.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll be close to one.
Brother, I'm 225.
Really?
Yeah, that's too much. I gotta
Wear it well.
Thank you. I do feel that.
Jimmy's like,
Yeah, you guys. You see,
187.
you guys are bulky guys. The problem with me, I don't want to be the skinny. If I get fat, I get skinny fat. Right? You just get the paunch and nothing else. That's no good.
Yeah,
You're better to be a big guy all around. Like you guys look great.
Well,
You're
thank
great
you.
looking,
Appreciate
man.
Thanks.
By the way, I seriously have started working out
Oh, yeah?
already. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Stoff.
One
Any
week.
workouts yet?
Yes. We're beginning preparations. Yeah.
Nice.
I've stopped eating. That's the first step.
Just going to
that's what I'm
completely
gonna
stop
do.
eating.
No eating. No eating till Weimar.
Why don't we do a
I'm gonna be
contest?
like rapping
Famine till
myself.
Weimar contest.
I'm gonna be like wrapping myself in that stuff that they did in. Remember that movie with Matthew Modine, Vision Quest?
Yes, the wrestling movie.
Yeah,
that
he's
had
like wrapping himself
Madonna
up,
was in that
running and
movie.
stuff. I don't think she was in that movie.
No, but she had 2 songs in the
did
movie.
Live to Tell, maybe. No,
No, Live to
No.
Tell was a different movie with
Yeah.
Sean Penn.
Yeah,
Yes.
great. That was a great song. What was it?
The songs in Vision Quest were "Get into the Groove"
Oh, good tune.
and
Borderline?
"Waiting Room" as the music
Oh
starts.
yeah, that's a classic.
Strangers making.
That's grade 8
most
dance,
of
I
the
think.
time.
Grade 7 dance.
That's
Crazy for you.
Crazy for you. That's a great.
There you go.
That first Madonna record, Nile Rodgers
Man,
produced, if I'm not mistaken. Great.
Madonna had the bang.
But "Crazy for You" and "Into the Groove" were the 2 songs.
Is Material
From the
rolled on
Vision
that
Quest,
record? On that record too?
I don't think so. I think those 2 songs were on the Vision Quest soundtrack.
really?
There's more useless 90s,
Yeah, it's gonna be me.
80s, 90s.
That's
for you?
80s.
That's
That is
80s.
100%.
That's 80s.
100% 80s. No
80s.
chance.
Can I make fun of one of my daughter's friends?
Sure.
I won't mention her name because I love her. She's almost like an.
Right?
Did I do this already?
No, but it's the only friend we've ever.
No,
heard.
it's not. It's a different friend.
Okay, I can't do it.
Why?
We
Why?
can't do it because you.
I'll beep it out.
Just blew
Yeah.
the name.
Okay.
Oh my
Keep
god.
it out.
The sweetest kid out there and smart.
Yeah.
But occasionally a little bit dippy, and she admits that.
Yeah.
We were driving home from Guelph, and Darian said, was talking about the 80s with me.
Yeah.
And she was asking all these questions about the 80s, and she said, I wish I lived in the 80s, right? I just love the 80s. Oh, me too. Just like that 70s show? And we sat there quietly for a second and I said, what? And then she finally caught on. She said, oh my God.
That's hilarious. What I was going to say is that they actually did try to do a series called That 80s Show, and it didn't work.
But anyway, either way, it was a fun.
I'm loving the 80s these days. I've been listening to that, was it Boom 97.3?
Oh, there's a radio station that does 80s?
Oh, it's so good.
It's good, yeah.
Well, it's 70s, 80s, and 90s, but they'll have all 80s weekends.
Darian is convinced the 80s was the greatest decade to be like a teenager in your 20s or in your 20s.
I think that I agree with her.
I agree.
That was our time.
And I have that argument musically with my friends all the time because that decade, birth of rap, synth pop, Michael Jackson's big, Prince, the end of the tail end of punk. You got Police, U2, all these bands that came up that are still mainstays right now. Plus, you had the Stones, you had the hard rock thing. Van Halen was big. All of your Tears for Fears. Think about all the unbelievable bands that came out.
And then all the one-hit wonders.
And the diversity of the music. That's what I loved about it.
Fashion was awesome.
Was it?
It was awesome.
I think so.
All the girls at my school wore sweatpants. Cotton ginny sweatpants.
So sexy.
Yeah.
But everywhere. Every day to school and to parties and everything. That's all they wore. Cotton ginny sweatpants.
They're the Lululemons of their time.
Exactly. It's very true.
I think they really were.
Jordache jeans of their time.
Jordache jeans. I remember those.
Yes.
This is going to be just a reminiscing podcast from now on. Welcome to the Rubber Boots 80s podcast.
We're at an hour, guys. We can stop whenever.
Okay. Goodbye, everyone.
Hey, how are you? I got a question that I really want to ask you. Wait. Don't hang up. I need to know, so I'm gonna try and push my luck. Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Are they purple, yellow, green, blue, black, or white? Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? And do you like the dunk tank at the fair? I know it's a little strange, my obsession with your choice of footwear in the rain. I know that you're on TV, but I need you to put your boots up on the desk for me. Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Are they purple, yellow, green, blue, black, or white? Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? And do you like the dunk tank at the fair? This is the part they call the bridge. A bridge has water under it. With rubber boots you can wade in the water. Just don't fall in. Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Are they purple, yellow, green, blue, black, or white? Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? And do you like a dunk tank at the fair? Do you like the dunk tank at the fair? The dunk tank at the fair. Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? No, seriously. Are you wearing your rubber boots? Don't hang up. Please. Somebody. Hey? Anyone?